Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for watching the channel today. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Today, I'm just out here at the ranch and I'm actually celebrating 14 years of sobriety from alcohol today. So I'm just out here riding the four-wheelers and enjoying a nice day. But I thought I would pull over for a minute and talk to you guys about 5 things that I really didn't expect to happen whenever I got sober 14 years ago. So the first thing is my mental clarity returned. I noticed probably 3 or 4 months after I got sober, I started thinking clearly. I started making better decisions again. I was more concerned about things like safety and not riding the fastest motorcycles they make as fast as they would go. I wouldn't do something like that now. It just sounds absolutely insane to me. I'm sure it would be a lot of fun, but my mental clarity returned. And it usually takes about 18 to 24 months for a person's brain to really start to clear up after prolonged drug or alcohol abuse. And I was pretty much the same way. So it took me a couple years to start thinking clearly again, but whenever I finally did, it really affected my relationships and my finances and my relationship with the Lord. So definitely the mental clarity returned. The second thing I noticed was I realized that I was living a decade in the past still. I had not really matured that much in 10 years because I spent roughly a decade with substance use disorder, and I really hadn't matured that much. So as soon as I stopped drinking, I went back to my early 20s self, even though I was early 30s, and I decided to become a motorcycle salesman. And I decided to just do a bunch of fun things. And my financial decisions weren't really that great until I, continued to sober up a little bit more. But it was just interesting to me that whenever a person starts using or drinking, they just pretty much delay their maturity for as long as they're in their addiction. And that definitely happen to me as well, and I didn't expect that. The third thing was my integrity finally returned. It took lots of energy to live a life of hidden problems. Putting the beer cans in the trash. 30 beer cans have to go in the trash can, so if somebody comes over, they won't see them all over the place. Calling in sick to work whenever I wasn't really sick. There was just all kinds of things that I was doing that I didn't have to do anymore. I didn't have to use all that energy to cover up, these lies. Basically, I was lying to myself, and then that made it very easy for me to lie to other people about what was actually going on. But eventually, my integrity returned, and I could wake up in the morning and look at myself in the mirror and just think, hey, this guy's not so bad anymore. And my relationship with God improved tremendously. And so I'm really grateful for that. It's a long process, and I still don't have it all figured out, and I'm certainly not perfect, and I make mistakes all the time. Just ask the people who are closest to me. But after a while, my integrity returned, and I'm so grateful for that. The fourth thing that I realized was sobering up is an absolute miracle. I could not do that on my own. I did not expect for God to take the drink away from me. I asked him to do it, and I had a little bit of faith, but I didn't honestly expect it to happen. So let me just give you a quick stat so you'll know what's actually going on. Only 6% of the people who went through the 30-day substance use disorder treatment that I went to, again, only 6% of them actually stayed sober for a couple of months after they got out. Everybody else, the other 94%, just went right back to what they were doing. And for some reason, God was taking care of me, and I didn't do that. And I didn't do it 6 months after, or 12 months. The amount of people who have a relapse in the first year is insane. That actually didn't happen to me. I feel like I was healed, and the Lord just took it away from me. So it was pretty incredible whenever you think about it. I mean, it was just an absolute miracle that I've gone 14 years with no relapses. The fifth thing that I didn't really expect to happen was that God restored my life. So it's kind of like a bad country song, but in reverse. You know, I got my truck back, I got my dog back, I got my kid back, you know, and it sounds kind of funny, but you know, I got my relationships back, I got my finances back, I got my job back. God really started restoring my life, and I'm especially grateful for the relationships that he brought into my life, the new ones and the old ones that he restored. So really, I've just been following God ever since, because he takes such good care of me. I know that I can't do this on my own, and the only way that I can do it is with his help. And the only way that it happened a long time ago, where I actually sobered up, was because he did it for me. It wasn't like, you know, I mean, I put in the work to go to treatment and go to meetings and all that stuff, right? But the Lord was actually the one that restored my life. So thank you guys for watching today. I'm gonna fire this thing up and go for another ride, and I will see you next time.